She'd never seen me dance, my wife. We don't go dancing, you see, in the same way we don't go pole vaulting of a weekend. It's not an activity we share. So she just stopped the telly one afternoon and went, show me your dancing, so I know what we're working with. Middle of the afternoon, no music on. I had to start. Is it this? She was really staring at me like that. I thought, bloody hell, I'm nailing this. She spoke up after a couple of hours. She said, why are your shoulders like that? I said, I'm not even thinking about my bloody shoulders. She said, why aren't you looking at this? I'm doing all of that, you know. Left foot, bounce. Right foot, bounce. She said, no, you need to move your shoulders as well, John. I said, well, I can do, but something else will stop. There's just a limit to how many body parts I can be thinking about at the same time. And she said, I know that, John. Still don't understand that one. So the agreement was that we would hold each other and sway like that. That was the agreement. And she whispered into my ear halfway through the dance. She said, and I'll never forget this, stop spinning, you're making me feel sick. I was going too fast, apparently, but that's her fault for not giving me an RPM, you know. I need facts and figures. I knew something was wrong when I felt her feet lift off the ground. I thought, a bit too much centrifugal force on this. It's more of a twizzer than a dance, but I was having such fun at that point. So we had a lovely wedding day, and then you go into an odd phase. Once you're married, you sort of relax into the relationship, and I've always felt, up until that point, I've pretty much been single most of my life, and I've always felt that was the bravest thing. You know, to face life on your own with all the horrors is the bravest thing, and I've realised now it's actually braver to love people, because you've still got all that crap going on in the world, but now you've got other people to care about and worry about and try and protect. And, you know, I love my wife, so I feel I've made a commitment to try and make her life perfect. I want every second of every day of her life to be perfect. Now, sometimes that means I've got to follow her around the house and tell her what she's doing wrong. Because I think she obviously hasn't noticed. So I'll have to tell her because I love her that much. Now, it turns out some people aren't ready to be loved as fiercely as I love. I love from the first minute of the day to the last, and she describes that as quite claustrophobic at times, I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm not just being an arsehole. None of it's just like mad rules. I don't just say, we only eat green things on Wednesdays. Everything I do is because I've looked at it and I think, well, if we carry on doing that this way, one day we're all going to die. That's the conclusion. So I have rules and regulations for doing certain things in order to protect the people I love. Now, I don't mean protect... I don't want this to be seen as chauvinist material. This isn't a man protecting a woman. I don't mean it in a kind of Liam Neeson kind of, if somebody takes you, I will find you. Liam Neeson there from the films. Sure you've seen him. I don't mean it like that. My wife's very aware if she got taken in that sense, I'm probably not going to get there in time. Let's be honest. It's not my strength. Travel's too tense, isn't it? It's not like that. In the film, she gets taken. He's killing people in the next scene. And it's not like that, is it? You have to book your flights, find your passport, get to the airport. Do you drive to the airport or get a taxi? Obviously, you want to drive, because then you're straight off, aren't you? But you've got to park. Now, they don't show any of that, because that would be a weird scene in the film, wouldn't it? Cutting from her getting tortured to him on that little bus. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Have a lovely holiday. He's on the flight 4 or 5 hours. He must eat something, but again, that would look weird, wouldn't it? Can I ask, is the pie gluten-free? Are you off on your holidays? Oh, no. No, my wife's been abducted. Yes. On my way to kill the assailants. But, well, I'm bloody useless hungry, so I'll have something to eat. I'll have the Shiraz as well. That'll just settle me. So, no, I don't mean... It's not protecting that sense. I think if you love people, protecting them is making sure they're happy and motivated and they eat right and they sleep and all those things. And some of it is making sure they don't come to harm. So, for example, now, if we drive somewhere, I tend to drive because I've passed my test and she hasn't. So that's the first thing I do. I've noticed over the years, we'll get somewhere, Morrison's if it's a special day, she'll wander off like that and she'll shut the door backhand as she's walking away from the car. Lovely technique, I'm not questioning that. Very sexy, Federer-esque. Do you know? Sometimes you're not even looking, just ding, like that, walking away from it. Lovely. Just enough weight as well. A lot of people who don't drive, I find they'll slam a car door, but she just puts enough on it. You know, sometimes I think, that's not gonna... Oh, it has. Oh. That's just clicked in, that's nice, that's nice. So I've got no qualms with that. You know, some people say I'm a bit too into the way she closes doors and it's a bit weird, but if you've never watched your loved one shut a door, just sit back and enjoy it. Anyway, what I've noticed is over the years, she tends to push the window of the car door like that. You don't push glass, do you? Glass isn't for pushing, it's brittle, isn't it? Especially in the winter months when it contracts by night and expands by day. It's getting more brittle, isn't it? One day we're going to get to Morrison, she's going to push the window, the glass is going to shatter, slice her arm open, she's going to bleed to death in front of me. And thanks for all your laughs there, I appreciate that. What was your favourite bit? When his wife died. Yeah. Pissed myself. Now, obviously, I don't want that to happen to her, so I'll just remind her, you know, when you shut the door like that, I say, could you just do it like that? Just a couple of inches this side, that's all I'm after, use the frame. And then I don't need to worry about it when you're not there. I don't want harm to come to you because I love you. Now, she doesn't see the love. She sees me more as a sort of pernickety little health and safety goblin. Always just there somewhere with my clipboard looking for code violations, right? And I know this because we got somewhere the other week. She went to get something out of her bag, and I thought, well, I'll come round and get the door for her because it's nice to be nice, right? Come round. She was already out of the car. She didn't know I was there to hear the little voice she does for me. The little voice she does every time she shuts a car door now, apparently. Yeah, and let's be honest, your partner's got two voices for you, haven't they? They've got the one they do to you and the real one. And she didn't know I was there to hear the real one, so I come round to the car to hear her going, uh-oh, not by the glass. Exactly that. And I pictured it immediately when I'm away and all her friends around and they're getting pissed up, and I heard her say, yeah, he was giving it all. Oh, put it on a coaster, please. In the middle of sex. Fun's fun, innit? But a stain lasts forever. She wanted the expensive bedside table. Anyway, it's not the time. I think, how many other times in my life have I done what I think is definitely the right thing for the person I love, and she thinks I'm just being an arsehole? And I look back over our time, and the pregnancy was one of the most stressful times, you know, a very intense period, you know, very hard. And looking back, I'll admit it was probably harder on her than me. It's important to admit these things in modern Britain, and I think she had a tougher time in the pregnancy than me. But for your partner, that's the hard thing. When a body is going through the most remarkable thing a human body can go through, and you can't do anything. I was just watching. I felt absolutely useless. I did my bit right at the beginning, really quick. And then I was just there. Do you know what I mean? I did tidying and stuff like that, but let's be honest, that doesn't count, does it? At no point was my wife looking at me thinking, well, I'll just grow this thing inside me. I won't eat the things I like. I won't have a single drink. I won't sleep in the position I'm used to. Every day will be agony. I'll puke up most of them, but since you've done the hoovering, we'll call it 1-1. It's just an irrelevance, isn't it? It's like handing out wet wipes at a car accident. Just, there you go. You've got some there. I'm here to help. Thank you. And don't get me wrong, I did more than I think most people do for their partners during a pregnancy. You know, some things, she would keep telling me things that might happen during the birth and things that you learn as you go through it, because I think if we all knew those things, we probably wouldn't get into that situation at the beginning. And she said to me once, you need to know something that might happen during the birth, John, right? Now, this is quite a sensitive topic, and she's not here to defend herself, so let's use an analogy here. My wife is a car, and the baby is a passenger inside the car, right? My wife's not a car, she's a beautiful lady. And if she were a car, she'd be the brand new car. Whatever the best one is. I don't know enough about cars for that to be a compliment. And the things I like about women and cars are different. You know, I like storage, but you can't say that about a woman, can you, really? I've yet to ask my wife how many cups she can hold, but the Ford C-Max can hold 8, and that is unbeatable. That is unbeatable. That's more than you can get people in the car. Can you imagine how popular I am in my area? Do you want to come for a drive? Bring a drink? Fuck it, bring 2. Mr. Richardson.